His new film is Unfinished Business, and it is in theaters today, Friday, March 6th. He is Vince Vaughn here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Vince?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. What was the last 9-to-5 job you had? Truly business
last 9
job.
to 5 job that I had.
Yeah.
Well, I was a lifeguard at the YMCA when I was a kid for a little bit. So that was that. I did a little telemarketing.
Oh, you did?
But it's been a while since I've done it 9 to 5.
I did telemarketing.
Let's talk for a second. How excited are you to have Jimmy Harsh coming back to get the ship right there in Michigan?
Well, listen, Vince, you are not kidding. I am so excited to have Harbaugh back. I prostrated myself through the entire month of December on this show, begging him to come back. People told me I was howling at the moon, but I believe deep down, Vince. I believe deep down.
How can you not? Look what he did at Stanford with, they have very high academic standards, and he did a great job. And, he's coaching the pros. People are going to want to play for him because he's had success with a lot of guys who've done well. So I think you got to like your hand now going forward.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The only issue is Ohio State has 18 quarterbacks that could probably play first snap right now, and we got a few holes to fill. I'm just a little concerned.
The Buckeyes are loaded. Urban Meyer's great, and Dan Antonio's good at Michigan State. Look at his 4 last bowl wins have all been incredible. The in-state rivalry is strong, so it's going to be competitive. Big Ten is definitely in the conversation in a big way now.
I like it. Do you consider yourself an Ohio State guy or a Notre Dame guy, Vince?
I like both teams. I'm actually I like Jimmy Harbaugh. I've gotten the pleasure of meeting him, and I like to see him do well. But my family's from Ohio. My dad is, so I've always liked the Buckeyes. And then, being in movie Rudy when I was a kid with Favreau, I got attached to them as well. But so I pull for both teams.
Yeah, Harbaugh. So where did you meet Harbaugh? When did you meet him?
I got to meet Coach Harbaugh, and I went up to a game there. Me and Owen went up to the Niners game, and he was coaching, and he's come down here before. So he's a great guy, and he's competitive. He's a hard-working guy. He's a good guy. One thing you can tell is the people love him. The players love him, and I'm excited, man. It's going to be cool to see him in that situation. It'll be fun. I don't know if he had as much time to recruit this first year as well as I think he'll be able to recruit, but he'll get a lot of effort out of the guys that he has there, and he's a X and O guy, and he's also people want to play for him. People are going to commit to him. They're going to buy into what he's doing.
So did he like it? Is he a Wedding Crashers fan? I mean, an old school fan? Did he hit you up on any of your movies?
He likes Crashers and old school, yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah, because he's American. He's got red blood through his veins, Vince.
That's it, Rich. That's it, sir. I salute you.
I have Vince Vaughn here on the show. Unfinished Business is his film that's out today in theaters Friday, March 6th. So what do you think about your Bears coughing up Brandon Marshall to the Jets for a 5th-round pick, Vince? Your first blush thought.
Was it a 5th-round pick?
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I just heard that. I don't know what to think about that. There's a little disarray there in Chicago. Fox is coming in. I think he's a solid hire. He's won wherever he's gone. He's defensive-minded. The Bears definitely are not the identity that the Bears usually are defensively ever since we lost Lovey. So, I got to put a little bit of faith in him and sort of what he's trying to build there. But, Brandon's a great receiver. He gets a lot of good numbers. He's a big target. And so I don't know what that was about. I don't know if people are having a hard time in the locker room getting together or if it's about, him trying to fill some holes and liking some opportunities. I'm not sure what to think. What do you make of it?
I don't know because they have a decision to make on Cutler. That's the big one. That's the big one where he, if he's on the roster by next Tuesday, not only is his money guaranteed for this year, but it's next year too. So it's a 2-year deal that they're basically going to deal with Cutler if they keep him. And then the words "deal with" that I guess I just used in relation to Cutler, I think tells you the whole story. What do you think of Cutler? What do you make of Cutler, Vince?
The guy's got all the talent in the world. For whatever reason, there has seemed to be a little bit of chemistry stuff going on. And I wonder if Marshall leaving might be a sign that Jay is staying.
I think that might too, but you'd think that these guys have known each other for so long in Denver and in Chicago that I don't know if Brandon was the issue.
That's what was interesting about it because, obviously he was an advocate in bringing him in, but it felt like last year when times got tough, it got a little vocal. So
Yeah.
Like any great relationship, sometimes there's a rough patch, and it feels like these two might be going through one now.
There you go. Vince Vaughn breaking it down here on the Rich Eisen Show. Unfinished business.
Who's the quarterback for the Jets going forward?
Now, Vince, that's an excellent question. It's Geno Smith, it appears.
Right now it's Geno. I want to go dig in the draft. And what about your boy Ryan going over to the Bills and staying in division? But that team was impressive last year, right? They look a little loaded up.
Well, they do. I mean, and he's going to bring a little bit of that Ryan moxie to Western New York, and I think they love it. You know, he's already changed the color of his tattoo on his arm to Bills colors. He's got a Bills truck. He's eating pizza.
That was a smart tattoo parlor appointment. You got to applaud that move.
Oh yeah, I call that next level inking, Vince.
Yes, that is the next level of inking stuff.
Yeah, you know, but I'm not really an expert on the ink. But you know,
I'm not either. I don't have any ink, but I think if you're going to switch teams, you might as well change the colors.
You know what? Certainly, if you've got a 4-year deal that Rex has, right? I mean,
and they got Orton, right? They got Kyle Orton in there.
He tapped out. He retired. Kyle's done.
He did tap out.
Yeah, he did.
Interesting. So what do you think of these quarterbacks in the draft, Rich? Where do your eyes go? You're a GM. You got the pick. You need a quarterback. Do you reach early on one of these guys, or are you going to wait a little bit for someone later on?
Well, if I'm kicking tires, Vince, if that's what you're asking, you know, I sort of like I'm coming around on Winston. Although, you know, I don't have the private detective. I don't have the true detective, if you will. You see what I'm going at there? You like that?
I like that.
You know, I mean, I don't have the information, the off-the-field information, like I'm sure the Bucs are doing their homework on. But everything about him looks like he's the real deal, Vince.
You know, it's interesting because you see some of these guys that get kind of hyped out of college, these quarterbacks, and as time goes on, it feels like, you know, the guy who sits in the pocket and kind of swings the rock in a passer's league seems to be a high asset. So I don't know. It's been, you know, years now where guys have gone kind of early, and whether they have some off-the-field questions or whether they rely on their athleticism, it is not, you know, proven to be always as consistent of a pick, just like the running backs now moving more traditionally to the second round as well.
Yeah, I know. And then there's the silliness of this part of the season where we parse everything out to the nth degree, that Marcus Mariota is a quiet guy. Can he go to a big market team? He's from Hawaii. He played his college ball in a small area in Oregon. Will he be able to face the media?
Those things wouldn't worry me with him because he seems like a big work ethic guy, right? He seems like a guy that really works hard and focuses. So I wouldn't be as worried about those adjustments. My question would be, you know, the ability, to the degree he relied on his mobility. What does that mean? Because, you know, when you get to the next level in the NFL, that doesn't seem to carry you as far.
Yeah, I mean, and his stock went down after your Buckeyes or your dad's Buckeyes hit him and the rest of the Ducks in the mouth. Right, you know, you look at even Manziel with against LSU when they would mush the rush and kind of show that format, you know. So you got a lot of speed there in the NFL, Rich. I saw you run that 40. You're no stranger to that concept. I saw you bring out the jets there and kind of let people know what time it was. Well, I'll tell you, Vince, you know, and I think you can understand this because what beats inside is the heart of a champion, and that can't be taught. You know what I'm saying?
You can't teach that. I saw that dedication and that pure determination, both in the eyes and in the strides, you know, and let's not kid ourselves. Yes, you have the heart of a champion, but when you mix it with the grace of a gazelle, that's when you're dealing with a super-powered athlete.
Is that of all the animals in the animal kingdom, is that where you would go? Gazelle, Vince Vaughn?
I think with what you brought to the table, I think gazelle's definitely in the conversation. I think of the most elegant and fast of animals. Cheetah would have been the obvious one. The raw power, the speed, the elitism, all those things in the conversation. And I think what made it most impressive is a hammy did not get blown. So that means there's some toe touching going on at the Eisen household.
Oh, let me tell you something. My hammies, I'm working on that. I did core work this year, Vince, but I did slow down by 1/10 of a second. I have to be honest. I got to put everything on the table here with you.
That's all right. You know, what they don't talk about is the wind factor that day. The ground wasn't the best conditions.
Oh, yes.
You were coming off a little bit of a tweak of the ankle from a pickup game, but, you know, you're not going to say those things publicly because you got too much class. Let me be the one to hit the fans to some of the conditions that were going on that day.
Thank you. You should have mentioned that the sun was in my eyes in an indoor stadium, too, Vince. Please add that to your list moving forward.
That's exactly right.
Hey, listen, thank you for calling in. I look forward to seeing your movie, and, of course, True Detective, too. I can't wait to see you in that. coming up.
Awesome talking to you, pal. Great, always great.
Thank you, too. Take care. That's Vince Vaughn. You got it. That's Vince Vaughn.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.